Hey guys, good morning. Bear with me, I just woke up. I hadn't even done anything yet. I just wanted to quickly hop on and film a quick video. But I just woke up. I haven't filmed a video in quite some time. It's been a few months, and reason being is I just don't film them unless I feel called. They take a lot of work, even though I don't do anything fancy with them. They take a lot of work, a lot of time and editing, and I just don't super film that often. But I do film when I feel called, and today was one of those mornings. I just wanted to talk about something really quick about the trustworthiness of God and the character of trusting and abiding even when it's hard. These past few months have not been anything short of easy, but they also haven't been incredibly tough. I think I just want to explain these past few months where I haven't filmed in a theme of just day-to-day life. What does day-to-day life look like? And it's been about 4 months, I think, and there's the intentionality of waking up every day, doing your day. There comes the intentionality of spending time with Him and choosing to abide and get into your word, even when it's hard and you don't want to and you're tired. And so in these past few months, I've started a new job, which I absolutely love. They're like family to me. I've only been there for a little bit of time, but it's been so gracious and so kind, and it actually feels like home. And when it's my weekend, I miss being there, so that's pretty cool. My friends and I have started something really neat called Unfit, which is unfit for the world but perfect for His, and it's just creativity and being creative for Christ, specifically in the way that He made us, that we don't have to be a cookie cutter Christian. My family has gotten a lot closer, which has been really cool. Since we went the closest before quarantine, life was just so busy, but now we've gotten a lot closer, which is really neat. You know, some things have shifted over the past few months, but all of this being said, I wanted to talk about how even though life shifts and things change, the one thing that remains is the trustworthiness of God. And I'm actually preaching to myself, talking to myself as I record this. God's character of trustworthiness is worth relying in and staying in. He's worth it. There are days where I do not want to get in the Word, do not want to get on my knees and pray and surrender the day over to Him. Surrender thoughts or feelings over to Him, especially when I'm going through them. As of recent, I was confused about something, and it harbored my mind for a straight week. Even though I would go into prayer for those things, there wasn't that full surrender. There wasn't that me trusting God that when I give it to you, I really want you to take it and have it. I would grab it back. And what I just want to touch on is that He's worthy of being trusted in. But even in those times that it's hard to trust, I want to speak that it's okay. Because as I've learned in these few months, I don't think a lot of people talk enough about the questioning and the ripening and how important that is. I want to let you guys know that it's okay to question when it's hard. It's okay to ask questions and at even times doubt the faithfulness. Questions mean that you're growing. It allows you to get to know a new character of God and who He says He is. And in these past few months, I have had questions. I've called mentors, I've called my friends, I've called my church and just asked them questions that were hurting in my heart or things that I just don't understand. And these questions lead to conversations where we can talk and converse with one another. In all of that, even in the conversations, it would all lead me back to the one thing: His trustworthiness. Has He been faithful before, and will He be faithful again? And the answer is yes. In these past few months, there will be deep moments where I feel His love deeply and know that His presence is around, and it's just so heavy with His grace. And then there are other times where I just, God, where are you kind of thing. And in those particular times, I notice that He'll send pieces of love or things that remind me that He's there, even though it's not His presence that I'm feeling or aware of. It's little whispers of hey, I'm still here, and only details that Him and I know. And I know that might sound weird, but you know how there's something particular that you know when you love somebody, there's something like an inside joke or like a sweet thing just between you two that when you show it, that exclamation of love is there. That's how it is with me and him and people in their walks. Is he'll whisper specific things, specific details to remind you. Your eyes have to be open to it. I'm going in a loop, but what I all mean to say is God is trustworthy and he is good. And it's also like that's the first thing. And then he's also okay to come to questions with, okay to have these like conversations and these pieces of doubt. And the cool thing is like God invites our doubt. He invites us to doubt him. Yet it's that very doubt that he'll come and restore. And that's something that I'm like so in awe of him about, is like this Almighty God invites my doubt and wants it because he knows that he can answer it. I'm not sure where to put all of this other than I woke up this morning wanting to let you know that your God is trustworthy. Ask him these hard questions. Walk with somebody. Get a friend alongside with you. Get with people who hold you accountable and care more about your future than what you're currently feeling. Because as you're walking into the future with one another, they're going to be lifting you up in prayer. They care about what you're feeling, but they also care about your future and not just what you're feeling, so you don't get lost in the current moment, because feelings can be fleeting. I'm the first to say, I'll tell you. Lastly, I hope this is ministering or speaking to somebody, but lastly, I do want to talk about the faithfulness and trustworthiness of God, even when you don't see him or necessarily feel him by your side. But recently at work, I lost a lot of money from a client, and it was incredibly embarrassing and incredibly I felt so bad. And since I'm still adjusting to work, it's like my first month there, I was so embarrassed and like so scared. And my bosses met me with such grace, like unbelievably, just so much grace. They were true definitions of strong leaders, saying like, hey, it happens to us. It's happened before. Just be careful. Don't let it happen again. But they met me with an amount of grace. I felt safe to come to them and let them know that I made this mistake, because they had created that atmosphere. And I had prayed like, Lord, please let us find the money. Please let us find the money, because it was a lot of money. And the next day, we got a phone call at random from this lady saying like, hey, I found the money all the way in LX, but I work far from LA. So this lady had found the money in LAX, even though like I work about like 2.5 hours. So it was crazy, like overnight it just transferred. But she called us on the phone and she was like, hey, I love God. I believe that I saw this for a reason. I saw the money and I just didn't want to take it. I wanted to return it to you guys. And she glorified God in it. And it was super, super, super cool. And my boss had happened to be going to LA the very next day because she had an appointment out there. Like literally God's timing is so cool. She'd happened to already be going to LA. And so she met with a lady to come pick it up, and they had a conversation about God, which is super cool. And we got the money back. But overall, like, what I want to share is God took my really big mistake and had his name all over it. I'm not saying that my prayer answered us finding the money orders and the checks, but what I am saying is like, God can take a big mistake that you do and turn it into good, and his name all over it. Turn that worry into prayer and send it up there, and he listens. I have nothing else to share, nothing else to bring up, other than I just want to encourage you guys that your thoughts aren't unseen by him. You are known by him. And even in the tough times, give him your heart. Walk with somebody, walk with someone, and share what's on your heart, and that can create freedom. I'm praying with you guys. I love you guys a lot. It's been good. I hope to make another one of these soon, but in the meantime, bye. Sorry, my phone fell. But I lastly wanted to leave with this. I forgot to include it in the other clip, but as of recent, or for quite some time, I've noticed that people will come to me and say like, hey, you're so great, or hey, you're so strong, or hey, how do you do this? you're so blessed, because they see my life and they look at it and they think I'm so blessed. But I will be honest with you, it's none of that. God doesn't have any favoritism. There's no, there's no favoritism when it comes to him. I am not anything more than anybody else. In fact, I know how deeply I need him. There's a quote that said, strong me? No. What you're saying is a weak girl recognizing how strong her God is. That's what I want to leave you guys with, is none of this is on my own account. It's all him. Every blessing that I have had come from seasons of hiddenness, of being quiet in prayer and going and surrendering when it was hard. I think, I'm not sure the specific verse, but in Corinthians it says, yet not I, but the grace of God within me. And that verse alone can exclaim his life. Okay, I love you guys. Just wanted to quickly say that. Bye.